Good morning, my friends. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday to you all. Today's going to be a tad different. Because we're going to swatch before we do our mani. What that is. It looks like ink or something. But hold on. Okay. This mani that we did on yesterday's live, I was cleaning this morning using my hand to wash down my door, and this nail chipped. So normally I'd be doing this hand today, but we're going to be doing this hand. We're also going to swatch Dipnotic Nails Western Wanderlust collection. I forgot to put that light on. As well as it was a freebie dip. If you placed an order, I think over $30, or if you ordered the collection, you got it. It's called Spectral Spectacle to Halloween dip. So we might use that today. Now, tomorrow is One Color Wednesday, so we need a single color for tomorrow. Anyway, I have 9 dips to swatch. I also have a few dips from the second collection that released, the coffee bar collection, I think it's called. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to swatch these 9 dips and pick one of them to use in a mani. But my slow butt does not have these ready. I don't even know what number these dips are. Give me 1 second. Hey, Michelle. Oh, you're here early. First one. Yeah, I'm going to do Dipnotic. I should probably be doing a Luxie mani, but I'm really excited about these colors. I haven't even swatched them yet. Like, I did this mani without swatching. So we're going to swatch our dips and then pick one to use for One Color Wednesday tomorrow. How are you today? So I'm just going to label these swatch sticks really quick. As quickly as I can anyway. 34, 36. I might use Gilded Sky too. That's really pretty. That's the one with the foils in it. I just love that shade of blue. Oh, I didn't number this. Oh, and I finally found that Murdaugh thing I was trying to find that was on Court TV. It was like a special. It must have taken like 24 hours to upload. Hey, Britt. Oh, it's so funny when you say morning, Tara and Michelle, because that's my sister's name. You don't know how many times I've heard those two names in a phrase together, Tara and Michelle. And always in that order, usually, because I'm the oldest. You haven't swatched yours either? Well, I know you got the whole Western Wanderlust collection, right?
Attention Medicare recipients. If you feel the recent price increases
and then,
in your pocket,
what other dips did you got? You probably don't remember the names though, huh?
But also for what Alec Murdaugh is wearing in that video.
All right, so I don't know why I got so far. I'm gonna go back. This is the Alec Murdaugh special. It's called From Victim to, it's hosted by Ted Rollins.
These self-adjustable
He's
glasses are taking
a host on Court TV. Victim to Verdict, it's called. So it's a new show, and the first one's on the Murdaughs. Britt, I'm gonna swatch this, swatch a bunch of Dipnotic dips, 9 of them, and then we're gonna use one for One Color Wednesday. One of my nails chipped this morning when I was cleaning, so I'm gonna do this hand today.
You've got enough evidence to convict Alec Murdaugh. Where is it?
My son was in a boat wreck months back. Who's the last person you saw driving?
I'm very sure it's Paul.
He's not drunk by anybody's standards.
Hazelnut. Isn't it affogato or affogato? I think it's affogato.
I can tell you that much. Did you take this gun or any gun like
Do you guys know
and blow your son's brains
that
out?
coffee drink?
I did not. I'm innocent. I would never hurt my wife Maggie, and I would never hurt my son Pawpaw.
My son Pawpaw. I'm gonna go as quick as I can writing these out. Sorry, I'm not more ready, but I was on the phone with Patty until 11:15. I was like, oh my God, it's 11:15. I have to go.
When the life of Alec Murdoch began to
Yeah, same with me. 3 or 4 of the coffee ones. I got caramel macchiato, triple mocha latte, which is the chunky glitter, and hazelnut affogato. Imagine if we got the same exact ones, Michelle.
Of his wife Maggie and youngest son Paul.
Here's the glitter that I'm wearing right now, turquoise and terracotta. So gorgeous. She's so good at making beautiful glitters, isn't she?
70 miles west
Michelle,
of Charleston,
did you end up
South
ordering the
Carolina's
calendar?
low country.
I meant to ask you. We haven't talked about it.
Towns and open
Britt and her
spaces.
friend
It
Jules
includes
Britt and Julie are
1700
splitting
acre
it too.
property at 4147 Moselle Road, owned in June of 2021 by the Murdoch family.
This is a
Alec
long
and
name,
Maggie and their
turquoise and
sons,
terracotta.
Buster and Paul.
All right, it
Moselle
fit.
was their most recent property, and it was kind of a hunting plantation type place. Great setup for hunting everything. And
Triple mocha latte. That sounds like I'm actually drinking a mocha.
Several properties, but Moselle
No,
was a
yeah, a
favorite
mocha
spot
macchiato
for
from
Alec
Dunkin'.
and Paul.
I think the plan was for Paul to take over Moselle one day.
He loved outdoors, hunting.
Isn't it gorgeous,
hanging
Britt?
around.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed the farm out there at Moselle.
They like to hunt and fish together. I mean,
Are you gonna
they
order it,
drink
Britt?
beer together.
That's
I
Paul's
might
last,
use
just
Spectral
before
Spectacle
8 o'clock
today, too.
Evening, June 7th, 2021.
I'm not sure yet.
His father, Alec.
What you see me doing is fooling with a fruit tree
Hold on.
that I'd been tending to.
I
and it
didn't
was
label
falling
this
over.
one.
Pawpaw was laughing at me, trying to get it back upright.
Usually, I like to have them pre-labeled before because I get easily distracted. Let me just write the numbers on these. Okay. Caramel macchiato.
There was a caller who stated he had found his wife and son shot.
Sergeant Daniel Green, with his body camera rolling, was one of the first on scene.
I could see Mr. Murdaugh down at the end of the driveway.
So this Spectral Spectacle is definitely a Halloween
The
death.
male victim laying on the ground to my left, as well as the female victim on the ground to my right.
Scene is secure. Got a whiskey Fox, whiskey Mike.
Yeah, I hear you, Brett. Especially with the holidays coming up, right? And all the advent calendars.
He grabbed for protection.
All right, let's do this.
Alex shared
Um,
the sergeant who he thought killed his wife and
let's do the 3 from the coffee bar collection: caramel macchiato, triple mocha latte, and hazelnut affogato. Let me just find them.
He's been getting threats. Most stuff has been benign stuff we didn't take serious.
Okay.
He's been getting,
Let's do the hazelnut one first.
I know that's what
So
it is.
this looks like
mentioned that boat crash.
brown and caramel color fine glitter. That's what I see. I'm using a lavender violets dip base because
Sergeant Green said he noticed about Alec.
He did
my
not
other
appear to
one
be
was
crying.
getting
He was
low.
upset, but I did not.
This brush is really narrow though.
Captain
Maybe I should
Jason
switch out the
Chapman and
brush.
Detective Laura Rutland arrive on scene a short time later.
The first thing that stood out to me was his clothes. He was so clean because it was a very graphic scene. It was a mess around Paul. It was
I'm gonna pour,
soaking wet.
lay
There was
flat
blood,
for the
there was
second dip.
brain, skull, hair.
But yeah, that's
He
what
said when he
um,
tried to turn him over
this
and
is.
check
I'm gonna
him,
give it a minute
and
to
there's
set.
nothing on him.
We see
And
showcasing Sky scattered around the grounds that are obviously rifle casings. There's
I'm gonna grab a
some
different
evidence to support
bottle
that
so I can
at
switch the
least
brush.
one or more shots into Paul were from a shotgun. That means 2 weapons. So were there 2 people?
Let's
Are
take
there
me.
other
There we
people
go.
that may be injured? We can see that
This
Maggie,
bottle's not empty, but
there
it's
was
not
nothing
like
laying
full.
beside her. We looked closely. Again, we didn't move her. So we went over to Paul and
Swap
I
them
had
out for a
couple
little
of
bit.
the deputies there and a
I don't
detective
even know.
with the sheet.
Oh, good.
That was simply
That's
because we're
closed.
trying to determine, do we have somebody in the woods? You know, where are the weapons? Was it a murder suicide?
Yeah, it's still wet.
Was it just a straight murder?
That's what I thought I remembered about this
Yes, sir.
dip base was that it was like super slow to dry.
That they're dead? Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
Oh,
This is your new go-to tool if you love working in your garden. Have you ever seen such a useful?
Oh,
mini
you
chainsaw?
did,
If you
Michelle?
haven't bought it yet, please take
A
2 minutes
label
for me to
maker?
introduce it to you. It's a lightweight, completely
Huh.
electric, and single-handed.
Yeah,
use
because
tool.
sometimes when I write on these, sometimes they smudge, and I have some like where the name is totally worn off, so I'm not even sure the name of the dip. You know what I mean?
Maggie
How
and
much was it?
Paul
Was it
had shot in the
expensive,
head
or was it
with a shotgun? Maggie with a blackout rifle. Maggie
reasonably
Murdoch was
priced?
52.
I
Paul
want to
was
get
22.
something to clip onto my table that will hold my phone, like right here, that I can put up over here so you guys have a better angle looking over my shoulder instead of this angle.
That night. So, in my view,
That's like
everybody was a
kind of the
suspect.
next upgrade I
Investigators
want to do.
recorded an initial interview with Alec, and for the 3rd time, he brought up the
So
boat accident.
pretty. Oh, look at how gorgeous that is. Because it's got those, they are like a caramel color. They're not quite gold, you know. Or maybe you could say they're gold. And with that brown, super pretty.
There's been a lot of negative publicity about that.
While investigators may have been zeroing in on Alec Murdoch, his family and friends, including his brothers and son Buster, were immediately by his side.
Yeah, his demeanor was, I mean, he was destroyed. He was heartbroken.
Okay.
I walked in the door and saw him.
Put that off to the side. I don't need to brush it off now or anything.
Just broken
So
down.
that one is hazelnut affogato.
And
Affogato.
what was his condition? Alex?
Hi, Tara.
He was
Welcome.
broken, I mean, distraught. I mean,
It was like
everybody
20 at
knew there were
Walmart.
people there, but he just
Good
always
morning.
cried.
For those that knew the
So
Murdoch
I'm
family and really
swatching
knew
some
Alec, there was
Dipnotic
just no
Nails
way
new
he
releases,
could
Tara,
kill
and then we're
Maggie
gonna
and
pick
Paul.
one to use for One Color Wednesday tomorrow. There's already a ton of glitter on here.
From your observation, how would you describe Alec's relationship?
I
with
just
Maggie?
see like so much cross contamination happening.
Um,
All right, let's do caramel macchiato, which I think is another fine glitter. Yeah, this one's a little bit lighter than the last one.
Kind of best friends in a way. It would take a lot more to convince the family that he did it. They knew how he cared and loved for Maggie and Paul and Buster. And then they were his life. His head was blown off. I mean, I'm just, no father could do that to the son. And I can assure you, no Murdoch could do it to a Murdoch.
Coming up, the boat accident.
Who was the last person you saw driving?
It's almost like really pale
Exposed.
He told me that he had been
gold.
addicted to opioids. He had been stealing money from his clients in the firm.
Plus, the timeline and the video that would change everything.
I don't think it's quite, yeah, it's not set.
All various possibilities, but
Maybe I should do two at a time. Stupid lavender violet space. See what happens when you try and save money. This one's triple mocha latte, you guys. Ooh, that's gorgeous. See, I want to pair that with a second color. I've done a bunch of chunky glitter ombres too, so I don't think I'd want to use this today. I don't know. The other glitter, though, Spectral Spectacle, I think that's a chunky glitter. Oh, this is gorgeous.
The night his wife and son were shot to death. In 3 interviews with South Carolina law enforcement, Murdoch said after having dinner with Maggie and Paul, they went down to the kennels and he stayed behind, taking a nap in the house before leaving to visit his mother, who has Alzheimer's.
I stayed in the house, and
I was watching TV.
All right, let's let that one sit for a moment.
I actually fell asleep on the
This
couch.
thing better be dry now.
And then she'd gone to the kennel.
Just pushing it off over the wastebasket
I left the house.
so I don't get this big mess again.
And the dispatcher asked you when was the last time you saw Maggie or told Maggie. You said,
Anyway, Tara, you might have missed the first one, but this is still wet, you guys.
Every time
Hazelnut affogato.
He was all
It's part of the coffee bar collection. Is that the name of it, Michelle?
When y'all get my
Coffee bar collection.
You know,
Hi,
I think one of the
Janet.
first things I did when I got up was call Maggie because I was going to my mom's.
You have sent it to me before, Tara. I must not have had the money and then forgot about it when I did have the money.
Movements from his Chevy Suburban.
I'm gonna maybe I'll put it on my Christmas wish list.
Especially when you compare it to Alec Murdaugh's version of events. Sometimes it helped him out, it matched up with his story, but other times it didn't.
According to cell phone records, Alec arrived at the Moselle property at 6:42 p.m. This as Maggie was making her way
How pretty
to
that
Moselle from the
is.
family beach house in Edisto. Paul, meanwhile,
So we got
arrives
these
a
two
little
so
after
far.
7 p.m. We rode around the duck pond.
Gorgeous, this one, especially with that those the gold in it.
We rode the property.
Makes it so
7:39,
sparkly.
Paul records Alec working with a tree on the property. Paul sends that video on Snapchat about 15 minutes later.
So that
7:56,
second one we just did was
Alec
caramel
wearing a blue
macchiato.
button-up shirt and khaki pants, a completely different outfit from the shorts and t-shirt he was wearing when police arrived on scene.
Still sticky.
Paul's Snapchat video is crucial to the case, not only for the timeline of events on the day of the murders, but also for what Alec Murdaugh is wearing in that video.
Okay. Let's get a second layer on this.
What time of day was that? I would have thought I had already changed.
Maggie arrives at Moselle at 8:17. Alec claims the family had dinner together in the house, and then Maggie and Paul went to the kennels. We hung around the house for a little while. I know that Maggie went to the kennels. I don't know exactly where Paul went, but he left the house too. I stayed in the house. Okay. And I was watching TV, looking at my phone, and I actually fell asleep on the couch. Okay. Alec's cell phone records him taking 283 steps.
Wow, that's
just
so
before
pretty.
getting into his Chevy Suburban at 9:07 p.m. He would arrive at his
Isn't that
parents' home in
gorgeous, you
Albuquerque
guys?
at 9:22.
Corrupt oil
Janet,
companies paying millions
I
to
messaged you in the
practice
group
new
chat, but I was like, you're up
Here's how
early.
legally shield gasoline from gas
I know you're probably up early
This
every day,
ex-program got
but
fired from his job
usually
and
you're
built
not
a
in the
car
chat
manufacturer
saying
after
good
exposing
morning.
software
You usually
bugs
don't hear
in
from me
the
till the
system.
live.
All cars built after 1996. Christian worked in the ecology department.
So
where his
here's
job
the
was to
three
make
from the
cars
coffee
more
bar collection
environmentally
that I
friendly.
have.
But while working on ways to improve gas mileage,
So
he
we got
discovered most
caramel
cars are contributing in a
macchiato.
way that causes the engine to consume more fuel than it really needs.
One
He shared his
here
findings with his
is the
manager, who was
hazelnut
expecting a big promotion.
affogato,
But instead of getting a
affogato,
raise, he got kicked out of the car
and
company 3 days later. It was
triple
then he
mocha
realized how big
latte.
an
Love that
impact his
one.
discovery could have. Blessed with years of technical
You get
experience,
up around
Christian
6,
teamed up with top
Janet.
car engineers after working for months on end to finally hit the secret everyone
I
was
gotta
trying
get
to hide.
Dominic up at
Christian's team drove into the
5:45.
car's factory settings and found all car companies use the same outdated software to manage fuel consumption.
Guys, I found the Alec Murdaugh thing on Court TV, so that's what's on in the background. The show that just came out the other night is called Victim to Verdict.
Along with his mother was Shelley Smith, a caretaker who had been working with Alec's ailing parents for years. She told investigators that Alex
Let's do
was there
Spectral
and stayed
Spectacle
for
next.
about
Now
20
this
minutes.
one was a freebie, placed an order, I think over the weekend.
At 9:43, makes it back to Moselle at 10 p.m.
I might use Gilded Sky today too, which is a foil dip with this gorgeous turquoise color.
And calls 911.
And then I think it has like gold foils. Oh, how fun is this?
We know Alec called 911 within 20 seconds of pulling up to the kennels, but he told the 911 dispatcher that he had already checked the bodies of Maggie and Paul.
I already touched them trying to get to see if they were breathing.
Alex's phone, for the most part, matches his story. But his son Paul's phone would destroy it, and Alex's claim that he was never at the dog kennels the night of the murders.
All right, I got glitter all over me.
At 8:44, Paul Murdaugh records this video at the dog kennels, and anyone who was familiar with the Murdaughs could identify three voices: Paul, Maggie.
This is what it looks like after the first step, you guys. Ha ha ha, Janet. I hear that. Every week I get like a thing about how much time I spent on my phone.
Being at
And it's always more than the week before.
minutes before they died, and then lying about it. What innocent person knows. Of course, we explored all various possibilities, but the roads all came back to Alec.
The kennel video in and of itself is favorable evidence for Alec. It just depicts a family down at the kennels. There's no tension. There's no fight.
Something
there's
in
no anger.
this.
There's no threats. There's no nothing.
Piece of
None
glitter
this
stuck
face
in
here.
there.
Within minutes of that, Alec guns
Let that
his
sit for a
wife and
minute. Let me
son
find the
down.
brush saver.
For what reason? Still, no one can give it a reason.
You think I feel, Paul? I have to go over the evidence and the facts I and I don't have anything that points to anybody else at this time. So does that mean that I am a suspect? You were still in this.
Alec Murdaugh being the husband and the first person to call, naturally you have to ask those questions.
Look how cute that is, you guys.
And as he continues to talk, his story's
It's
just
adorable.
Coming up, Alec
So this is
Murdaugh's
called
life
Spectral
begins to
Spectacle.
unravel.
I was already struggling with pills, and I knew I couldn't do it.
So there's orange, purple,
This special memory foam pillow is taken over the
blue,
bucket in
but
minutes. Regular pillows
not,
are not geometrical design to fit
it's like
your
a couple
head.
shades
You
of
might
purple
sleep through the
too.
night, but your neck and spine can be
Blue,
damaged
but
without
more
you
like a
knowing it and
teal.
can turn into serious health issues over the years if left
I'm
untreated.
pretty
It
sure
wasn't
I
until
see some black
2022
glitters
that
in
this
here
chiropractor
too.
found a solution.
I
His practice was
definitely
slammed
do.
with patients complaining of back
Super
and neck
cute
pain.
glitter.
Their joints and muscles weren't only sore, they were asymmetrical and could only be fixed with dangerous surgery. It turned out they were sleeping with regular cheap pillows that twist your neck into odd positions. Think of
I
it
get
like a
the
long,
weirdest
awkward yoga stretch that your
ads.
brain doesn't.
David Torres claimed to be a millionaire, but when his wife realized it was a lie, she ended up dead in her bathroom.
You have fake crime that is bleeds down.
Now he stands trial for her brutal murder. The Bathtub Murder Trial, weekday morning on Court TV.
I got a flat tire.
All right, let's do, we're gonna swatch these colors that I'm wearing, the teal and the glitter.
Alec Murdaugh, after calling 911 3 months after the murders of his
Blue
wife Maggie and
agave.
son Paul.
How do you say that? Is it agave? How do you say that word? Is it agave?
A few miles from his home.
You need EMS? Well, I mean, yes, I can't drive.
Let me know, ladies, because I don't know how to say it.
And I'm bleeding a lot.
At first, I'd seen
I
that
can't
the
believe
person
Patty's not here. I was
responsible
just
for the
talking
murder
to her,
of
for
Alec's
God's sake.
wife and son were now after him. But that would not be the case.
Patty, where are you?
He looks fine, but it kind of looks like a setup, so we didn't stop.
Months after the murder of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh, Alex out of control. Murdaugh was forced to resign from his family law firm. On September 6th, 2021, he was admitting himself into a rehab facility to treat decades of drug abuse. Murdaugh would then admit that he asked this man, Curtis Eddie Smith, to shoot him.
I swear I just saw hair hanging off me. I'm still in my pajamas, by the way, but I did give you guys the courtesy of putting on a bra.
After Alec Murdaugh will be arrested for fraud.
Your Honor, he has had a tremendous opioid addiction. The death of his wife and son have put him
Let's
over
do a
the
second
edge.
layer. I love this color so
And that
much.
is why one of the major reasons he's considering.
And of course, it's
The arrest would set off a chain of events leading to several more charges of financial crimes. Then, On July 14th, 2021, over a year after the murder of his wife and son, Alec was charged for fatally shooting Maggie.
Agave.
with a rifle with a shotgun.
Mr. Murdoch, did you kill your wife and son? If you didn't do it,
Ah, your daughter called. Agave. Okay, thank you.
Accused of
I
murder.
knew how to say it. I'm sorry if I sound stupid, but I was taught that the only dumb question is the question you don't ask. You know what I mean? How do you learn if you don't ask? So, right, Patty?
For decades has been synonymous with wealth, power, and the law.
So there's blue agave. Agave.
District of South Carolina, all the way up until Alex's father, Randolph III, retired in 2006. There were even Murdoch portraits hanging in the courtroom, which Judge Newman had to remove. Murdoch's grand.
Look at Patty greeting everybody. All right, next. Let's do turquoise and terracotta, the glitter I'm wearing.
In 1993, the year Alec graduated from law school. In 1996, their first son, Buster, was born.
Patty, I
And
found
3
that
years
thing on
later,
Court
their
TV
son,
about
Paul.
Alec Murdaugh, so
Alec
it's
was
playing in
never
the
a
background.
solicitor. He did prosecute
It's
a
a
few
new thing
cases
that just
with his
came out.
father and had a prosecutor's badge that he carried with him.
And who gave you that badge?
My father. I found that law enforcement oftentimes is friendlier when you're in law enforcement. I want to be a solicitor for a long, but at the time when my dad retired, I was already.
I think I can lightly brush this off and dip
I knew I couldn't
again.
do it.
Besides the drugs and the financial crimes, there was also the boat crash.
There we go.
Is this invention going to put eye doctors out of business? These self-adjustable glasses are taking the world by storm. They let you achieve a crystal clear vision at any distance, which means you won't have to visit your eye doctor ever again.
Where's your emergencies? Please fire EMS. Hello?
February 24th, 2019, at 2:30 in the morning, Paul Murdoch and 5 of his friends, in a boat owned by the Murdochs, crashed into a bridge.
We're in a boat crash on Arthur Street.
We're about on Arthur Street.
In Arthur Street, the only bridge on Arthur Street.
What's going on?
We're in the
How
boat
gorgeous
crash.
that is, you guys. So beautiful.
19-year-old Mallory Beach was thrown from the boat and died. Her body wasn't recovered until a week after the accident.
Hey.
Paul Murdoch would face criminal charges, and the family of Mallory Beach was coming after.
So there's 3 more left we have to do. Let's do cowboy boots next. I bet Kendra would love this collection. She loves Western stuff. But she ain't here, so sucks to be her.
And on his way out, he raises his arms and seems to be celebrating.
According to friends, after a night of drinking at a house party, the group was.
You too, Patty? There's no dumb question except the one you don't ask. Oh.
South Carolina.
I think it was one of my teachers who told me that, you know. I've told Dominic that, but he doesn't seem to believe it. He won't ask because he's afraid to like draw attention to himself, or he has such anxiety going up to the teacher and speaking. He has to get about being homeschooled. I told Nick he wants to be homeschooled. Nick said no.
As the rest of the group waited outside, Paul Murdoch and Connor Cook went into a bar and consumed shots of alcohol. Paul, at this point, according to his friends, was extremely intoxicated.
He gets drunk a lot, and it's just kind of like he just is a whole other person when he's drunk.
It's like a black streak on that. I don't know what happened. Hopefully, the next tip will cover it up.
That's Mallory Beach with her boyfriend, Anthony Cook, walking back to the boat.
In the video, there's this moment where Mallory Beach is with her boyfriend, Anthony Cook. They're having a good time. They're on their way back to the boat, and it's just heartbreaking to watch because
Yeah.
we know
Oh,
that's
that's
the
so
last
pretty.
hour of her life.
It reminds me of like a soft
Paul began fighting over who should be driving.
leather, like cowboy boot leather, and it's called cowboy boots.
Some people wouldn't let anybody else drive, and then Mallory wanted Anthony to drive, and
Warren Anthony.
Mallory is the one who's sitting next to him. He's like, I want like Anthony to drive,
Like a super soft worn-in leather. And of course, this is a shimmer. This will probably look so pretty chromed. Cowgirl Copper. That's what it looks like in the jar. Another shimmer, of course. Why make a solid when you can make it shimmer?
Solicitor badge out for everybody to see as he went room to room.
That night of the boat wreck, you say you don't remember putting your badge out, correct?
I don't even remember.
Oh,
having my
I love
badge.
this
I
color.
specifically know that I
This
didn't
is like rust
use the
color.
badge. You know, did I mean to do this? I'm not saying that I didn't.
Going around talking to the kids.
How pretty that is. I love it.
Yeah.
It looks so rich in
According to
here.
statements from hospital staff, Paul was, quote, loud, rude, and was cursing at ER staff. And Alec was, quote, walking through the ER trying to talk to all patients involved, introducing
Okay, let's do
himself
a
to
second
ER
layer.
staff, and told one of the kids, quote, we will figure this out.
For purposes of getting the live, keeping the live moving, I will activate and top coat these dips after.
But also,
I still have to
making
pop
rounds,
off my
trying
nails.
to establish that his son Paul was not the driver of that boat when it crashed.
On April 18th, 2019, on what would have been Mallory Beach's 20th birthday, Paul Murdoch was charged with 3 felonies in connection with the boat case. He pled not
This
guilty
is
and
so
was
pretty.
released on
It's
bond.
shifty too. Like in here, it just looks copper, but this has hints of red or
Coming up,
pink.
the world watches as Alec Murdoch goes on trial.
Everybody knows Murdoch's. You know, it's a household name that's been here forever.
There's a tragic outcome in this case.
Civil trial that is the focus of the Netflix documentary Take Care of Maya.
How a misdiagnosis tore their family apart.
That's beautiful.
To accuse Jack and Deanna of being child abusers. Jack called me.
All right, we have one to do, and this is the one I'm leaning towards using, called Gilded Sky, you guys.
The Take Care of Maya trial. Trial coverage weekday mornings at 8/7 Central on Court TV.
And this is a
A
foil
year and
dip.
a half after Maggie and Paul were killed, Alec Murdoch was brought to the Colleton County, South Carolina courthouse to stand trial for the murders of his wife and son.
I'm a native South Carolinian, so I've been following the case. I know the Low Country well, and we're retired, so we had time to come down and just kind of participate, I guess.
I've just really gotten so obsessed with this. It's my first retirement adventure, and so I want to see the completion.
He walked in the room, and my heart just like sank. It was so crazy. That was very cool, but kind of eerie at the same time.
The trial began with opening statements, each side telling a very different story about Alec Murdoch.
The evidence is going to be such that you're going to reach the inescapable conclusion that Alec murdered Maggie and Paul, that he was the storm.
Let's do
that the
dip
storm
number
was coming from
2.
them. They died as a result.
This is Alec Murdoch. And Alec was the loving father of Paul and the loving husband of Maggie. They decided that night he did it.
Men kill spouses.
Wow. These are really pretty foils.
Men don't kill their adult sons very frequently unless it's like some argument. And there was no argument here. There's no fight here. And it's just, you know, it's mind-boggling how people think that Alec, who loved his family, and that was his life, would have executed his son.
How gorgeous that is. I think I got to use it. And it would go so good with
Paul was murdered with a shotgun.
this.
Maggie with a blackout rifle. Why would Alec?
But it's One Color Wednesday, right?
Big question. One shooter or two?
So this is going to be the one we're going to use.
Was there enough time to kill Paul? and then find the AR and then ambush Maggie? Much more likely there were two people.
Or I do this one. You guys got any thoughts?
Construct the crime scene, offering different opinions on everything from where
Hey,
the
Brandis.
shooters were standing to
Tina's
how
here.
tall they were.
Hi, Tina. My fellow fucked up girlfriend. Just playing.
Any reasonable explanation, just like one shooter rang up that way, correct?
Guys, which tip should I use for One Color Wednesday?
5'2" or 5'4". Can't determine that.
Foil or glitter?
Our expert had said, and for somebody to try to determine the height seemed to just go a little too
What's
far.
your thoughts?
Is it your expert opinion that a 6'4"
You guys
shooter
see him?
cannot be excluded from the murder of Maggie and Paul?
I see nothing that could exclude a 6'4" shooter.
Can you exclude two shooters?
I cannot include or exclude two shooters.
Can the defense include, to the exclusion of all other possibilities,
The foil?
two shooters?
Absolutely not.
It'd be a lot easier too, right? Okay, I'll do that's what I was gonna do anyway. Thank you, Tina.
Murdered Maggie and Paul.
Foil it is.
My opinion is the totality of the evidence is more suggestive of a two-shooter scenario.
Well, I wouldn't have defended Alec if I believed for 1 minute he killed Paul. I can tell you that much. I would not have done that. And so,
All right, sorry guys, I gotta pop these off.
Prosecutors argued that Murdoch's life was
See if we can
unraveled.
get
He was a
them
drug addict who had been stealing money from clients and his
without a
law partners
drill.
for years. And Paul's boating accident, they argued, might
Yeah, Tina, I was cleaning this morning and I chipped the tip of this nail, so I'm popping it off and doing this hand.
He confessed to me things about him that I didn't know.
And you had no idea about any of that.
Yes, sir.
And he said it had been going on for years, the reality of his life.
He told me that he had been addicted to opioids, and I think he'd said either 420 or over 20 years.
But I think he did love me. I think he did love Paul. But to sustain his lifestyle, his way of living, the person he really cared about most was Alex.
This case was unlike a normal murder case. You know, if Alec wasn't the killer, he would be our first witness, the grieving father who uncovered the scene. The murder case and the white collar cases really started to converge and come to a peak. After the boat case, did you notice?
I didn't lose any gems either, you guys. I put them on with the Cosmic Nails 2-in-1 top coat, and I didn't lose any.
Disbursements that he was stealing from that started getting sloppy.
I got ink under my nail.
Then Alec Murdoch.
Although I'm putting a blue dip on, should be
When a
fine.
defendant takes the stand to testify, it changes everything. And that was certainly the case in this trial.
You swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Murder, did you take this gun or any gun like it and blow your son's brains out on June 7th or any day or any time?
No, I did not.
Did you shoot a 300 blackout into her head, causing her death?
Mr. Griffin, I didn't shoot my wife or my son anytime.
Okay.
And you would agree.
Sorry, they're coming off in little pieces today.
For years.
Look at that's black ink under there. It's probably gonna take a long time to get it out.
Candidly, in all of these cases, Mr. Waters, that I took money that was not mine, and I shouldn't have done it. I hate the fact that I did it.
Judge Newman's decision to
Trying
allow
to see if I
in
can
all
get
of the
any of it.
financial crimes of Alec Murdoch was huge. This allowed prosecutors to
Little
show
bit.
to the jury that Alec Murdoch was a habitual liar and had been so for years.
I know you want to get through it quicker, but we're not. So answer the question, please.
What I admit is that I misled them.
In 2019 alone, you stole about $3.7 million.
No, I think that's correct. You'd have charged me with murdering my wife and my son.
Anyway, my
And I
kitty
sat
came
here
back yesterday. I found him laying on a swing in the yard.
And I'm embarrassed by it. But what I can tell you.
So I went over and I was talked to him for a little bit, and I was like, "This was yesterday." And I'm like, "Come on, you want to come get some food?" And so he followed me all the way back over.
And I did wrong.
And then this morning when I went out there, he was I went out and I'm like, "Where's my baby?" And he came running. So And I said to him, do
Were
you
you in
want
fact
me to
at the
be your
kennels at
mama?
8:44 p.m. on the night Maggie and Paul were murdered?
I have to get Nick to change his mind, you
Did you
guys.
lie to SLED Agent Owen and Deputy Laura Rutland
I put the flea medicine on him
on the
this
night of June
morning.
7th and told them that you
I
stayed
can't
at the
just
house
take him
after
in though, like
I did lie
in the
to him.
house.
Alec gets on the witness stand.
Like when Nick would
and
really
said
lose
he's
his
lying.
mind if I
It's like
did
a
that. So I
financial
have to get him to
scheme
change his
like a
mind.
being
Do you
at
know
the
what I
kennels
mean?
That is him in the kennel video. But then he wants the jury to believe him in that moment. Believe him. when
And
he
I
says
did
he
end up
didn't
saying
murder
to
his
him,
wife and his
there's
son.
no reason we can't have a cat and a dog.
As my addiction evolved over time,
Get this red.
I would get in these situations or circumstances where I would get paranoid, thinking that night, June 7th, after finding
Okay, I'm just gonna shape these up real quick. And then I'll throw my peel base down. We can get going.
a police car with David Owen asking me about my relationship with my wife and my son. And all those things coupled together after finding them, coupled with my distrust for SLED, caused me to have paranoid thoughts.
He has a long history of deception, and it goes to show just how much was on the line and what kind of stresses were on Mr. Murdoch on June 7th.
Then it was time for closing arguments.
He's lied to everyone close to him, and he's good at it. He's fooled them all.
Okay.
And he fooled Maggie and Paul too. And they paid for it with their
Looks good, looks good.
You've heard weak
Peel base time,
testimony about
finally.
Alec's financial crimes, drug addiction, and lies. But after all that, the state has failed to prove to provide a satisfactory
Does he
answer to
need
this
you,
question.
Britt?
Why? The state cannot provide an answer to this question because the answer is he would not. He would not, under any circumstances, murder.
No, that's the thing. Like,
On behalf of Alex,
I react to some stuff that is HEMA-free,
and on behalf of my friend,
but hers is one of the only gels I have no reaction to.
Thank you.
Coming up, the verdict.
I understand that there's
I'm gonna have to use my $10 coupon this month. I have to buy some because it's almost gone.
I know you have to see Paul and Maggie during the night times when you're attempting to go to sleep.
I'm working on my second diamond painting, you guys. It's a tree of life. I have almost all the tree done, but like the whole background to the tree is like black, so I haven't filled it in yet.
Everyone outside the courthouse was a little surprised the media.
And give you random crap to do.
in the courtroom, but a lot of the members of the public who've been there day in and day out.
That's funny.
Didn't realize that it would take such a short amount of time for this jury.
This is going to be a fun mani to do. I cannot find my Dipnotic Precision tool. I think I took it to Fran's one day. And maybe I never took it out of the box, like when I was going to do her nails.
I understand that there's a verdict. You may
I'm sure it'll eventually turn up, but in the meantime, I have my Color My World and my Luxie.
The bailiff had warned the gallery.
And I do have one I had bought off of Amazon somewhere too, a water marble tool, which does the same thing.
Yeah, I had juries come back in short time with a defense verdict. And maybe this is one of those cases. And so I did have hope.
You guys, if I chrome a nail, would I be violating the rules of One Color Wednesday? Because I have a copper chrome look.
Versus Richard Alexander Murdoch and Texas. Indictment for murder, SC code 16-3-0010, CDR code 0116.
Tell me, guys, would that be violating?
There was no
I'm only using, well,
during the reading of the verdict. A defendant who
I mean, I could chrome it over my natural nail, but it always looks better over a dark color, you know.
as his fate was read in front of everyone.
When
I could
Ms.
chrome it
Becky
over
read the
this.
verdict, I think the thing that instantly came
You
to
guys
my
let me know
mind
what you think.
was I'm so glad I didn't put this whole team
Ooh,
through all
caramel
this work.
macchiato is so gorgeous, you guys. I really like that. And this is magical. Look at the colors, the different shades of brown. I love
One
it.
of the most memorable moments of the
And
Alec Murdaugh
gold.
verdict was
Super
when
pretty.
the judge remanded him into the custody of the sheriff's department.
I did my makeup today since I had that airbrush foundation. I figured, what the hell? So I did a full face of makeup. Yeah, I did. I did foundation. I did blush, eyeshadow, mascara, eyeliner.
Confident that the jury didn't believe Alec's
I
explanation.
think that was
for
it.
Lying about
Oh, and
becoming
eyeshadow
false.
mascara.
Hearing
Not
from him, which
eyeshadow.
the testimony about how he lied to his
Eyebrow
clients to steal money, how he lied to his partners to their face, and how he is a accomplished liar. And when it comes time for him to tell why he lied,
You can chrome a single dip on
he's not
itself and it would count. Okay.
he was.
I'm gonna do it then.
Disappointed, but he wasn't totally surprised. And going into it, he questioned whether he could get a fair trial in this climate.
Today's verdict proves that no one, no matter who you are in society, is above the law. And our criminal justice system worked tonight. It gave a voice to Maggie and Paul Murdaugh, who were brutally mowed down and murdered on the night of June 7th, 2021 by someone that they loved and someone that they trusted.
If we put up 1,000 pieces of evidence before a jury and they want to pick on 1 or 2 or 3 pieces of evidence,
So then I have the cat now, like in the mornings, I told Patty, but we have like a screen door. Well, all right, so you go up our steps, our porch, right? And then there's a screen door and you go in and there's like a little breezeway, like a little hallway, and then the door that leads into our kitchen, right? In the mornings it's cold, so I always open the screen door. I open it up and then I leave my front door open because he'll come up, the cat, you know. And when I bring the food to him, he comes up into the hallway and he eats his food in the hallway. And then later on, I'll move it outside. And then I gave him some tuna and I left some of the water in there. You know how normally I would like totally drain it for myself, but I left a little bit just for like moisture's sake or whatever. But he was so excited. He like was eating that and I was just petting him, telling him how much I love him and how he's such a good boy and everything.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Then,
okay, I think my nail. Oh.
Clifton Newman to impose the sentence.
All right, well, these two are dry. This is not. This is and this is not. So we're going to start with those two anyway. So let's get going. Thanks for your patience while I swatched, ladies.
Perhaps one of the most troubling cases, not just for me as a judge.
Dipnotic dips, you guys, apply beautifully. I'm not just saying that. Like, her dips always, whenever I do manis with her stuff, I know it's going to be like gorgeous because,
it was especially heartbreaking,
especially if it's like a shimmer or a solid, you know. It's just high quality product.
Who lost a wife and son to being the person indicted and convicted of killing them. And I know you have to see Paul and Maggie during the night times when you're attempting to go to sleep. I'm sure they come and visit you.
All day and every night.
I'm sure. And they will continue to do so.
Don't mind the black marbling inks, or alcohol inks from yesterday on the nail.
Sentencing him almost as if he wants to engage in a conversation.
So we'll pour over for dip number 1. We'll lay flat for dip number 2.
Defiant. All he will really say is that he is innocent and he did not kill his wife and son.
I'll use my precision tool to do my cuticle cleanup here.
Under any circumstances, hurt my wife Maggie.
Mallory's not here, right? No, Mal.
And it might not have been you. It might have been the monster you become. Mr. Murdaugh, I sentence you to the State Department of Corrections on each of the murder indictments and the murder of your wife, Maggie Murdaugh.
Still wet. I'm going to skip the middle now for right now, guys.
For the murder of Paul.
I knew when I did it that there was a thick layer on there.
Probably love so much.
The hair hanging off my nail. Oh, a long one too. And now it's stuck to me because of the base.
For the rest of your natural life.
All right.
Carry forth on the imposition.
You know, we're just moving forward. That was one step of the process.
I typically don't press down foils on the first layer, but I did just then.
Preparing for an appeal. That's where we are.
People can speculate, you know, and they have tried to speculate about, you know, Mexican cartels and all this other stuff. There was absolutely no evidence of any of that. The perfect storm that arrived was Alec.
It will be an uphill battle on a retrial, and that Alec's best chance of being ultimately acquitted of these murders is finding out who actually did it.
Let's see. Okay, the thumb's dry.
My name is Blanca Turrubiate-Simpson, TURRUBIATE-SIMPSON.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is this difficult for you to be here today?
Yes, sir, it is.
Will you please tell the ladies and gentlemen of this jury, Mr. Simpson, about yourself, where you're from, your family, if you want to, and just kind of what you've been doing in life.
Oh, I touched my
generally, please.
It's wet.
I'm originally from Brownsville, Texas. I joined the military at the age of 17. I was in Norfolk, Virginia for almost 9.5 years. I was stationed on the USS Puget Sound, USS Shenandoah, Naval Air Station Oceana right before I left.
What'd you do there?
Heavy equipment operator.
Okay.
And my husband was also heavy equipment operator.
All right, that's dry now. Perfect timing.
We decided that the military was just not going to be good environment for raising children. So we made a decision, instead of moving to Texas, we moved to
Do you need Starbucks? Do you have coffee at home?
And,
Starbucks is so expensive, huh?
5 children, 34, 31, 23, 20.
Although I'm drinking a macchiato from Dunkin', so who am I to talk?
Any of them still at home?
Those are like $4.
Where was your husband?
But I'm all out of eggnog, so I asked Nick if he would buy me a coffee because he gets one every morning from Dunkin'. So I was like, "Can you get me one today?"
Say it again.
Gifford, South Carolina.
And what does he do?
He's a police officer for Hampton.
When you came to South Carolina, you never been here before, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. What did you do when you got here besides the hardest job and raising kids? What else did you do?
When we moved here, we had enough leave built that we didn't have to work for.
I think I'm gonna kind of do it over here in Britain.
So I went to.
Foils are going everywhere. It doesn't really seem to matter where I
kind
brush
of
off.
got bored because I'm used to having hands-on doing something. So I went to the local Piggly Wiggly store in town, and I asked I didn't know.
Okay, so this is one dip. Second dip, we'll get some more foils, right? I'm gonna shake this to try to get a little bit more than what's on here because plus we're gonna press them down this time
And
to make sure that they
so
stick. On the first
the
dip,
only
I
job he had
don't
was
really
a
press them
stopper,
down,
and
so
I actually
a
had no
lot
idea
of
what
it
that
gets
meant, 'cause I
brushed off,
just
and you
graduated
just
high
end
school
up
and
with
went
the
in the
little
military,
pieces
so
that
I didn't know.
actually
But
stuck
I
to the
told him I would
base,
take
you
it
know.
as long as he would get me out of the house for a little bit. So I took that job, and then within a week, I got a call from another job that I had put in where it was brazing or welding at Scotsman, which is in Allendale County. And I figured, well, it offers benefits and it would be better transition for the kids, dental, you know, that sort of thing. So I went there. After about 2 weeks, another job called me and had better dental medical benefits for my kids. So that was the first time I ever, well, I
There
went
we
to work for
go.
the South Carolina Department of Corrections. I opened up Ridgeland Correctional Institution. I was the first class to graduate from the
Gorgeous
correctional
dip.
institution. I
Doesn't
worked
really
my way up
matter
from
about
correctional
this
officer to
second
sergeant.
on my ring finger. That's the
I
nail I'm
managed the
going to
outside
chrome, you
details
guys.
and the
So
road crew on the interstate.
I'm not going to try to
Also,
get a lot of
crew that would go out to Hunting Island for
foils on it.
maintenance to assist with the park rangers. In 2001, I was offered a job at the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and I accepted the job. So I left Ridgeland Correctional Institution.
Still got a
went to
good
work for
amount, but
FCI Estill, Federal Correctional Institution, Estill, South Carolina, where I stayed until 2007. My job, basically, I started back from the bottom as a correctional officer, and before my year's up, I got promoted to the Special Investigative Support Tech Office, where I was responsible for managing, producing reports, weekly reports, and also profiling the Hispanic gangs, because there was not a lot of staff members that were bilingual. So my job basically became profiling, interviewing, and associating members, the inmate population with gangs.
And how long did you do that?
this one
From
got a lot of
2001
foils.
to 2007.
Not that anybody cares, so is that when I first met you?
Yes, sir.
Did you help me arrange a meeting with a prisoner I need to interview?
Yes, sir.
And why did you leave that job?
Just burned, when you're the only, one of the only ones in the office that's bilingual, and you're constantly getting called out for different incidents dealing with a Hispanic population that had grown up quite a bit from the time I got there. And still having to do your daily
Look at
duties
that
in the office,
foils.
and nobody's
It's a lot,
helping you.
but
You
so
tend to burn
gorgeous.
out pretty quick.
That's how I like my dip.
I made a decision to leave.
So if an incident happened when they needed a translator,
I
your
was
phone
called,
got called.
I had to stop what I was
So,
doing and respond to whatever.
tell me what is up with everybody.
What did you do after that?
Brandis, are you gonna ask for those
Went
Crocs
into
for
real estate
Christmas?
for a little bit, which was not so good.
Might be
because
going
when
on
the
my
market
list.
And again, for the jury's
It's like,
edification,
oh,
what year is this when you quit the prison? And,
2007
I gotta file this now.
and you're living where?
in Brunson.
I'm sorry.
Brunson,
So how long did you stay in real estate?
maybe about a year and a half.
I gotta file my nail. My finger, I
Right at
mean.
this point, I presume.
Yes, sir.
And did there come a point that you met the defendant, Alex Murdoch?
All right, that's
Can
better.
you tell them how that happened to the ladies and gentlemen, how that transpired?
When I first moved to Gifford with my husband, like I said, I was bored, so I went to work at the grocery store. At the grocery store, during the time that I moved, there was not a lot of Hispanic families living in that area. It has since grown in the years. I met a lady who I befriended. You know, she was Hispanic, and we started talking because she was the only other
Do the
Hispanic person that I
thumb.
had actually seen in the area. So we started talking back and forth, and it was nice to speak in your native tongue with somebody. and her son had an accident at the school on his way after school, walking to the car, and he had gotten hurt. One of the ladies that worked at the school had recommended that she use an attorney from Walterboro. And a couple of months had gone by, and I noticed that she was under a lot of stress. And as I talked to her, she said, I just have to get all these documents. I don't understand. She spoke English, but it was very broken English. So she was having a difficult time explaining what she needed for the attorney. So I told her, I said, well, I said, I'm gonna find you an attorney. I'll look around. I said, and we'll go ahead and fire that attorney and hire you a new one. And because we didn't want the statute of limitations to run out on her case. So at that point, I started looking around, and I happened to walk into the law firm. And it was the old offices where I met Alex.
Just walked in, and that's where you met the defendant, Alex Murdoch.
Yes, sir.
And you were trying to assist this individual who was having trouble communicating with her prior attorney. Don't mention whoever that attorney was, but you helped her get a new attorney.
Yes, sir.
Did you help with that case, that particular case with this friend?
Yes, he told me he would.
So this is what they look like now after 2 layers of dip.
The case, as long as I translated and helped him with the details.
We're gonna encapsulate next.
Because he didn't have anybody in the office that was bilingual.
Gotta get my
and I
Dipnotic
agreed.
clear out. I didn't realize
You
that
were
my cosmic
commodity,
clear is
weren't
still
you?
out.
I mean, there was a need for translators.
Yes, sir.
So you helped with that case?
Yes, sir. I
Did
did.
you assist in other cases with
Yes, sir, I did. At times, Alec would call me and ask him if I could assist in translating or when there were accidents and the folks were injured. And if they were not, if they
I'm
did
trying
not
to
speak
get
the
through
English
this. I'm not gonna
language,
do any
he would
cuticle
ask me to
cleanup or
translate.
anything.
And were you getting paid for this service?
Yes, sir. It wasn't a set fee. It was just depending on the case, whatever I did, whether it was to get them signed up with the law firm, basically, or if I had any type of, in the Hispanic community, when you are in trouble or you're in need of something, and a lot of times those accidents, when they happen in the area, they are not from here. The language barrier is a big thing for them. So my instinct was more to make sure that they were well accommodated and whatever they needed. So sometimes he would reimburse me for my out-of-pocket whenever I helped the individuals, who were in the accident.
And that went on for a period of time when you were assisting either Alex Murdoch or the law firm. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Wait, you worried what
Did that
won't last?
change
Hold
into
on.
a
Cystico, it made the mineral bond.
caregiver, if you will, or
Oh,
respectfully, I don't know, housekeeper or
sparkling
whatever.
companies doing something? Mineral bond? This is the
Yes,
first
sir.
I've heard of
Alex
this.
had called me and said Maggie was
What is it
looking
supposed
for,
to be? Something
a
that
person
makes
to
your
help her in the
dipstick
home.
better,
And at that
or
point,
what?
real estate wasn't really doing much.
Fill me in
for
on
me, so
that.
I couldn't find anybody. I had asked around. And at that point, I told him, I said, well, I'll help her. And he was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'll help her. I said, it's no big deal to me. It's honest work. So I said that I would help her.
You were clearly qualified.
Yes, sir.
So what did you start doing for either the Murdochs or Maggie Murdoch?
I started helping the other ladies in the house with the cleaning, with running errands.
Hey, there
running
we
for them,
go.
whatever she needed me to do.
When did that start, Ms. Blanca?
In 2007.
And were the two young children, or the two children, Paul and Buster Murdoch, were they younger? Obviously, they were younger. When you,
Yes, sir, they were young.
Would you have interaction with them and or Alex Murdoch during this time period?
Yes, sir.
How often were you
All
working?
right, there we go. See if I
At
can
that point,
brush
it
any
was
of this up.
maybe
These foils
every
just kind
other
of break
day,
down into little tiny
depending on
sparkles on my
how
mat.
often she needed me.
And
Okay,
where
let's
was that? Where
activate.
specifically were you working? Where was their house?
At the house on Holly Street in Hampton.
How long did that go on before you stopped? And tell them why you stopped.
I worked there with them on and off, like not on and off, I shouldn't say that. Every 2 to
This
3
dip
days,
is
you know, or
gorgeous.
it wasn't a daily thing at that point.
So
Then
don't
I
forget,
did
if you
go
do want to
probably
order
about-
from Dipnotic Nails, use code TARA10 to
I
save.
can't recall, it was a few months later or.
Or you could use Michelle 10.
Or a couple weeks later.
Or Lotus
there
10.
was
I
an
think it's
incident
Michelle
at the
10.
house, and somebody had
You could
tried to
use either
burn
one of our
the
codes.
house,
It
so that's
doesn't
when I
matter.
actually went and started helping her more full time because she had to go through a lot of the damages and all that. I helped her document a lot of whatever damages were done from the diesel and stuff that was spilled all throughout the house by the individual.
And maybe I wasn't clear on my
Okay,
question.
so this is
Did-
what
did
they
come
look
across
like.
that?
Now, I didn't press down
Yes, sir.
anything with a plastic bag
At one
after
point,
activating because they're pretty
I
smooth
suffered a stroke.
to begin
and I had
with.
to,
I do
stop
think we'll chrome the ring finger, you know.
and go through rehab for a while.
I hope
year was
it's the same color copper. It looks it. I have some other chromes too. I probably have another copper somewhere.
17 and 18 maybe?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So prior to your stroke and you had to go to rehab. How
That's
long did you
kind
work
of
for
a,
Murdoch?
that's kind of like a copper.
It was a few years.
Ah, what about this one? Born Pretty. Oh
When you
yeah,
out after you had your
that
stroke?
one
Okay.
is really good.
Maybe almost 4 years.
Did there come a point?
I might have
where
to use the
you
Born
had
Pretty
started
number
working
8. Let me pull
with
that up
Alex,
just in
with the
case.
Murdoch family?
Yes, sir.
I think it looks more coppery.
Shortly after the boating accident,
I just gotta find number 8. I think this is it. Yep.
reached out to Alex and Maggie, and I told them if they needed anything that they could call on me. And at that point, Maggie.
Of course, that won't be until
said that she
after
would like
filing, right?
come back if I was able to. So I told her I would.
Michelle
At that
10.
point, I was
Okay.
feeling better.
Oh, Mallory, I was wondering. I was asking where you were.
And once I went back, it was like I actually never left.
I was just informed the stroke was in 2015, not 2017.
Joe Base, Cure, add mica powder, top
So
coat
after your
cure.
recovery, you started working, and actually called them, the Murdoch family, and said, if y'all need anything.
If y'all need anything,
Huh.
I'm here.
And I don't think anybody will dispute, that was in February of 2019.
So
That's-
chrome, but with base.
So when you went back to work with the family.
That's
after
what
the
it
voting
sounds like.
accident,
I mean, you
tell
add
folks,
mica powder. Or is this a way to paint your nails?
I started right back at the same thing. I was helping.
I was
with
wondering,
the
Mallory, where you were.
errands,
How are you doing?
Cash checks. I was.
During the Dipnotic Nails, Manny.
And what I say
This
by cash
color is
checks,
called
so maybe
Gilded
sometimes
Sky. It's
she
from
would
her
have
new
time when she
Western
was busy doing
Wanderlust
other
collection.
things, so she would send me to the bank.
And I'm gonna
cash
chrome my ring
check,
finger with a copper
to pay
chrome.
the people that she had working around the house. The main. Yes. sir.
Yeah, so it's
Ma-
marketed to
maintenance,
people who
you
don't know
that sort of thing,
better,
whatever
right?
she was doing around the house.
Where were they living, the Murdoch family, at this point in 2019?
Both places,
Tell the folks where both places.
Moselle
think
and Hampton.
So you're working
I
at
think
both
I
residences.
need.
Yes, sir. I both.
And did there come a time where they moved exclusively for the primary residence to, well, where was their primary residence?
Their primary residence was Holly Street, and once they sold the house, they moved straight into Moselle full time.
What do you think? Should I use my sanding pen like yesterday to try and smooth these? I think I'm gonna do it, ladies.
Fairly close.
Gotta practice, right?
Yes, sir.
And when you had quit working for her. and
Right
she
now, I
had
have it
the
at
stroke,
7.
Did you ever see her during that time period when you weren't working for her?
Yes, sir. Maggie would, I would see her in town and she would often signal me to pull over. So we just used to stop sometimes and just talk and see how things were going at the local CVS. Just to catch up and see how everybody was doing.
And prior, when you were working and after, would you,
I got
and I'm not asking you to say what, but you all got close and would talk personal things?
Yes, sir.
No, see, I don't think it's working good, you guys. I think I can do it better and faster like this.
To June 7th, 2021. You were working there for the Murdaughs then?
Yes.
That's a Monday. We all know that, June 7th.
Yes, sir.
When had you worked prior to that? At the Moselle property for them?
Friday.
And at that point, had you seen, what family members did you see at Moselle on Friday, which would have been the June 4th of 2021? Do you remember?
Paul.
And what was your interaction with Paul that day?
Paul walked through the door, his usual self. I was walking out of the laundry room, coming into the kitchen, and Paul came in the front door and he was holding a laundry basket full of clothes. And as he was approaching me, he saw me and he said, "What's up, Miss B?" And I just looked at him. I said, "Boy," I said, "if you got all them dirty clothes and you want me to take care of that," I said, "I'm getting ready to leave." He's like, "Oh, come on, Miss B, you can help me out." He said, "I need them for the weekend." He said, I said, "Well, just pull a couple of them out, what you need, and I'll take care of it." And I ended up staying late to make sure that he had his clothing ready for the weekend.
So did you wash the clothes for the entire family? Was that part of your?
Yes, sir, I did.
I feel like this file is not working as good as it used to on me.
Yeah, I saw him leave. I don't know whether he was actually gone for the weekend or if he was still.
Okay.
Did you ever see him again?
No, sir.
It is a gorgeous color.
Did you have regular?
Oh, I get a lot of emails from Sparkle & Co. because I used to get the itty bitty bag. So like I get emails every day, so I must have got something. I just haven't checked my emails in 2 days.
Easy going. If I had stuff to do, if I had stuff to take care of, she wasn't really too keen on any specific hours. So, you know, if I had a doctor's appointment or if I had anything, she'd be like, "Okay, no." Her main comment to me always was, "No worries."
No worries.
No worries.
Well, June 7th specifically, were you scheduled to work at Moselle?
Yes, sir.
And did you have contact with Miss Maggie Murdaugh sometime prior to getting to Moselle that morning?
Yes, sir.
And I think it's in evidence, but tell these folks what contact you had with her.
She texted me and asked me if I could stop at the grocery store on my way to Moselle because Alex wanted some Capri Suns.
Some what?
Capri Suns. Okay. And she said apple, and I believe she said pineapple first, and then they changed. She came back with another text and said, "No, he wants orange." I believe that's what he said. That's what the text said. I'm not.
And did you try to get some orange Capri Suns?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
I went to the Food Lion.
Okay.
And were you successful in your search for orange Capri Suns?
No, sir.
I'm listening to this Alec Murdaugh thing. This is the new one, Brandis, that just came out on Court TV. Called, I know you guys are probably sick of me saying it, but it's called From Victim to Something. I forget the name now. From Victim to Verdict. With Ted Rowlands. He hosts it.
Did you have any other text with Miss Maggie before you got to Mazzelle?
Yes, Maggie told me she had to go to a doctor.
Oh, I haven't swatched them
And
yet,
she said
Brandis.
In the
Oh, bye,
text, Maggie
Tina.
said, Alec wants me to come home. And she said, and in a phone conversation,
You kind of like last
told me,
month's
she
dark
said,
colors and this
left
month's.
some
I like
food
this
in the
one. I haven't
refrigerator.
swatched them yet,
Is there
but
any way
looking
you
at
can
them, I like this
all
month's
like food
glitter.
we could?
Do you know about the
So,
solid? Does it
she said,
glow,
"Well,
or
you
is
can
it
come
a
back in
thermal or anything, Brandis?
I said, yeah, sure.
Or
I
is it
said,
just
I'll
a
do
regular
it.
solid?
So it was nothing. I finished what I was doing, and then I started cooking, making sure the meal was ready for when Paul and they arrived at home. Well, that afternoon. And we had another conversation on the phone where she told me, she said,
Getting
Alec
there.
wants me to come home. And she kind of sounded like she didn't want to come home. Because she really liked being at Edison. And they had a lot of work that was going on, and she was trying to make sure everything was ready for the 4th of July gathering that she was planning. So she was very detail orientated, so she wanted everything perfect. So she was kind of, she sounded like she was a little disappointed. And then she said, well, Alec asked Paul to come home too, because he's got to fix the mess up out there that that CB had done.
Good.
Yes, sir. And he said Alec had told Paul to come and fix it because they were planning on having a hunt that weekend, so he wanted everything ready and good to go.
So he'd asked Maggie to come, and then he'd asked Alex to come.
That's what
Paul
Maggie.
to come.
Paul. That's what Maggie told me over the phone.
And looking at Defendant 64, can you read that? Text.
He said, thank you. I'm waiting at doctor. Alex wants me to come home. I had to leave. Door open at Edisto.
So I think I might be joining the team at Zebra Glitter and Nails, you
His
guys.
dad is back in the hospital.
Which is really funny because
not cancer, it's pneumonia.
along with Cosmic and Luxie, she was one of the first small companies I bought from because after Amazon, I discovered Basic. Yeah, Brandis, I agree.
And when she said, I trust the man,
After like around the same time, so after Amazon, I discovered Etsy for dip powders, and that's where I found Luxie, I found Cosmic, and I found Zebra Glitter and Nails. And I ordered maybe like 5 dips over the course of, a couple months or whatever. Maybe I have 7, all thermals, pretty thermals, but more like summertime thermals, like mermaid something, mermaid waves maybe is one, but they're all light colors, pretty though.
Anytime she had.
So I've been chatting with the owner, Bridget, and pretty sure I'm going to be joining her team full time.
And I guess, was she at Edisto the night?
You're not seeing anyone's comments? The last comment was Brandis saying Basic. Do you have it on all chat or top chat, Patty?
Unless she knows.
She can answer if she knows.
I'm not.
Motorola Razr is bringing a different perspective.
Hello, Moto.
And the cool thing about Zebra Glitter and Nails, like she's been around longer than most companies, but she has loads of products. Like she's got dip and spray bottles. She has body creams, lotions, lots of stuff beyond dips.
Were you on schedule June 7th time-wise? Were you running late? What time were you supposed to be there?
I didn't have a set time to be there.
After you and Maggie talked and texted, did you go to Moselle?
Yes, I did.
And when you got there, was Maggie there?
No, sir. She had just left.
Was Paul there?
No.
Was defendant Alex Murdaugh there?
Yes, he was.
When you walked in the house, was he up?
No, sir. He was in bed.
Based on the time you spent there and your experience with the defendant Alex Murdaugh, was he a morning person?
No, sir.
No. How long were you there working before you saw Alex Murdaugh? That morning on June 7th, 21.
Probably a couple hours.
It looks good.
And can you tell these folks that there come a point that morning where he left the house? Alex Murdaugh, did he leave and go to work or
Yes,
wherever?
he did.
Okay. And can you tell them what he was wearing, Alex Murdaugh, best of your memory, when he left Moselle?
He had a pair of khaki pants.
Just gonna file my thumb. Again, I'll go through what I do. I like to start up at the cuticle and just kind of go around the dip powder and my the dip powder line at my cuticle, and then straight down the sidewalls. If I'm not happy with the shape up at the cuticle, you know, it can be adjusted by filing, whether it's the corners or the center or wherever, you know, you need it.
What type of shoes he had on June 7th?
And then I do like to come straight down, file my sidewalls.
There was a pair of brown leather shoes.
Was it a long sleeve shirt or a
And
short
then
sleeve
if
shirt?
there's any dip on my skin, I like to use a 100 grit file typically. This one's not going to remove it to get it off.
Specifically about that shirt?
As he put his coat on, he was putting his shoes on and he was putting his coat on. And he was getting ready to walk out. He turned around and I said, Alec, I said, hold on a minute. I said, your collar's sticking up. So he turned around and I fixed his collar inside his jacket because one collar was sticking up.
So you actually helped? I'm sorry. You
Okay.
helped with his
Yeah,
shirt?
yes, I did.
There we go.
And you said it was a long or short sleeve? I'm sorry.
That polo is a short sleeve,
And did it have buttons on part of it or do you know?
just from here to here.
And was it a
There we
boot
go.
button? On top of it?
Okay, so now the dip is off my skin. I'm going to go back to shaping, and
No, sir.
the cuticle area looks good. The sidewalls look good. I'm going to make sure it's smooth, and this nail is. Some of my other ones are a little bumpy, but this is smooth. And then I'm just going to shape my free edge. Oh, and then the other thing I'll do is make sure the undersides of my nails are smooth.
Some white rice and some green beans.
You go cook, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Did you see or talk to Maggie ever again after this text or this phone call?
Before I left Moselle, I texted her and I
Okay,
said,
time to buff.
the dinner was on the, I believe I texted to the effect that I left dinner on the stove for them. And that I can't really remember the text, but I did text her and let her know that the dinner was ready. And that I
Who
was-
made you a custom, Brandis?
And you said one of her phrases she used is no worries. Has she said that to you that day?
Yes.
When was that? Is that?
I can't remember.
You got a family of your own, right?
Yes, sir.
When you left Moselle, what did you do?
Pick up my son at school.
And your husband's working?
Yes.
Law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
And when you got home that night, did anybody call you that night?
No.
When did you hear about the murder at Moselle of Paul and Maggie Murdoch?
The next morning when I was getting ready to go out.
The next morning.
Yes, sir.
How did you hear?
Alex called me.
And what did he say? He didn't call. He called you the next morning.
He called me early the next morning.
Grab file real quick here.
He sounded shaky on the phone. You could tell he was. His voice sounded really
zebra.
shaky. And he said, B, they're gone. They're gone.
Well, what
And
happened
my
is
initial
Patty is
thought
an
was
ambassador
just
for
go back to
her.
Melissa.
And so she just asked her if she would be interested in me advertising for her, you know.
They were dead at that time.
So she was like, yeah, have her message me. So it took me a while,
So he told me
a couple weeks, but I messaged her finally yesterday. And she messaged me back and said, yeah, how does this work? So I said, well, if you have something like a new collection or something specific you want it promoted, you can send it to me and I can do a live using those products and then post to all the socials and I listed them, you know.
All I remember is when he said that they were dead.
And then I said, if depending on, you know, if you wanted to use me for other releases, you know, we could adjust that schedule. And then I said, if you wanted to keep me full time, I can do one manning a week for you with the same posting schedule.
Going to Almeida.
And she came back with, I would love to add you to the team. Thank you so much.
From my house to Almeida.
So, and the thing is, and that's what I said to her is that what I just said to you guys, she's been around longer than most companies. She's got tons and tons of products. And she should be recognized for that. So if I can help to maybe bring a little more advertisement, a little more notice to her. Plus I get to be with Patty too, you know what I mean? Hi, Angel.
I went into
I'm doing a dip powder mani. We're getting ready to chrome a nail. This is what they look like right now.
And at his request.
Okay, Janet. Thank you for being here, hon. Have a good day.
There's going to be people probably stopping by and bringing food and stuff. He said, I just want the house to look the way.
All right, so I'm using my ergo file around the cuticles to
I went to the house. I
just perfect the shape.
Yeah.
Did you have a usual way that you went in to Moselle, entrance wise?
From the house, I would, if I was coming from my house, I would come in.
I did this one
on the, I call it the Miley side. So I would actually enter the property through the kennels. And if I was coming from Hampton or if I, you know, in the other direction, then I would use the front entrance. But normally I use the kennels coming from my house.
Okay.
When you got to Moselle.
The thing we're going to do is clean these off with some rubbing alcohol to get rid of all of our filing dust.
Did you see anybody in the property before you
I have a spray bottle here. It's getting low. I have to get some more rubbing alcohol.
You got to the main house. Take this right there.
Let's clean all these nails off. Do the undersides too, right? Because a lot of dust gets under your nails when you file.
It was hard because I know she wasn't going to.
This is what they're looking like. So now I have the chrome out that I'm planning to use. And we're going to put down some gel top coat. I'm going to use the Cosmic 2-in-1. You have a good day too, Janet. And we're going to chrome the ring
It was just a
finger.
weird feeling going through when I unlocked the front door to get in. It felt cold.
It's almost gone.
You really cared for her, didn't you?
I did.
What'd you do when you got inside?
Okay. There we
when I
go.
got inside, I didn't turn on any lights. I didn't do anything. I walked through the front door and I went in the kitchen. And I was kind of
Okay.
when I looked in the kitchen,
So I'm going to cure it for about 25 seconds.
And I was kind of, I don't know what the word is. When I looked and I noticed the stove that there was no pots.
Hit the like button, ladies.
It was kind of
I need those likes.
because usually when they ate dinner the night before.
I know you guys are all subscribed, so I don't have to say subscribe.
Very, very seldom.
There's 6 watching now. I expect six likes. All right, here we go. Oh, and I accidentally cured for 30 seconds. It shouldn't matter, but this is a gorgeous copper color. Oh my.
The pots were not in the sink and they were not on the stove. And then as I walked through, if you walk through the kitchen.
Okay, it's bumpy. It's not, you can see the foils through it, you guys.
The kitchen, if you walk through the kitchen, if you go to the left, there's 2 freezer and a refrigerator, and the laundry room sat right there to the left. There's a back door to the back porch, and then there's the laundry room door. They're both right there. And as I turned to go to the laundry room, I noticed that her pajamas were in the middle.
Oh yeah, it's tons of bumps.
Doorway, right in the middle, laid neatly in the middle of the doorway.
You can see the foils, you guys. I can try and take it off and maybe smooth it out some more, but I think it's pretty smooth.
Her pajama top.
All right, I'm gonna get some alcohol and peel it off.
Because she wouldn't lay her clothes out like that, not in the middle of the door like that. It just didn't look right to me.
And you took care of the house.
I'll try it one more time by just filing it again.
Not to get too personal, but sometimes you can't help it. Was the underwear there with the pajamas unusual?
Yes.
What?
Thoughts, guys, on this? Why it wasn't
wear underwear with her?
Can the foils screw with it?
No underwear with pajamas. But that struck me.
I thought as long as it was smooth, it wouldn't matter, right?
Unusual they were there with the pajamas.
Yes, sir, because the underwear appeared to be clean, not dirty. They still had like fold marks.
And the pot, I may have just missed it. You said, where would the pots end up when you found?
After I looked at the pajamas on the floor, the way that they were set, I turned around and I said, well, I wonder where the pots are. So I opened the refrigerator door.
Oh, I almost
and the
threw
pots
that
were
away.
sitting inside the refrigerator with lids on them. And I was like, who did this? I don't know at that point, but that was not normal for the whole pot to be sitting in the fridge.
Did you make any other observations in the house, the bathroom, or anywhere else?
In the master bathroom.
All right, we'll see if we can fix it this time. I'm going to use the Emily top coat just because I have more of it.
The tub. It was a
Oh, wait, it
tub.
might
It was
have...
right there next to the tub. And
One of
by the
these
shower,
is contaminated.
if
Maybe
you
it's the
walk in
base
master
coat.
bedroom, there's a big garden tub, spot type tub. And then right here is the shower, and there's a window. On the floor next to the shower was a slight puddle of water, a towel, and a pair of khaki pants. And then as I went to the left to see if there was anything else that was out, I looked in the closet, and in the closet was a white damp towel on the floor.
All right, let's try again.
And there was and I'm pretty sure the t-shirt was white at one time, but they get kind of dingy after a few years. But that it appeared that a t-shirt had fallen off of the stack of t-shirts.
Oh,
that were
you'll
on
do it
top
with
of the
gel
shelf
base.
right there in the closet.
Really? Because I just always use gel top coat.
When you took care of the home, was that? Tell us how the clothes were laid out.
All right, let's try again.
Shorts were you saying up on a shelf or shirts?
In the closet, there was a shelf. There was some shelves, smaller shelves right here. And then there was some long ones. Maggie used to keep her clothes on these. And then there was a shorter one, kind of like little box looking, you know. Alex used to keep his clothes, his belts and stuff in that. And then on top, there was also an area where he kept t-shirts. They were folded and they were kept on the shelf.
When you say t-shirts, I know what a t-shirt is, but I mean, were they t-shirts like I'm wearing right now? Were they t-shirts with pockets?
Usually they would be t-shirts, like if they would go, like when you go to a restaurant and they have like the logo of those type of t-shirts. He had a big collection of those.
Still some streaks in it, you guys.
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you iron a t-shirt?
Yes, sir, I did.
Let me try the cosmic now on top of it and see if that helps.
And you washed all the clothes?
Yes, I did.
Did you have a certain place that you kept shorts versus long pants?
Yes, sir. When you walk in the master bedroom, when you enter the master bedroom, the bed was right here. At the foot of the bed, you had a dresser here and a dresser here. The right dresser on the top drawers were usually his underwear, his socks. The next drawer was his.
All right, if this doesn't work, I'll try that.
Were the pajama pants that he would wear, or his shorts that he would wear to sleep in. In the left drawer.
But when he, like, I filed that nail super smooth. The streaks I see in it now seem like streaks from the gel.
T-shirts that he would wear under when he wore a suit. He would wear the t-shirts were in one of those drawers, and then the other two drawers were shorts, the dressier shorts, and then the not so dressier shorts. You know that.
So you tested out a shirt, looked like it had fallen when you saw it this morning?
Yes, sir.
June 8th, 2021. Okay. Was it still clean?
Yes, sir.
Did you put it back?
Yes, sir.
My boss, Don Zelenka, just reminded me that the food that you cooked.
Yeah, it's got like streaks from the gel in it. You guys see that?
No, sir, I did not.
God damn it.
Now, you said there was a damp towel. Where was that?
In the closet, on the floor.
And I know what damp means, but when you touched it, did it feel?
It was damp.
Close this up. I'm going to try my e-file, smooth it.
Took it to the laundry room.
At least get this off, right?
Yes, so there's a pair of khakis by the shower.
And what'd you do with those?
Took them to the laundry room.
Did you wash them?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may proceed. Mr. Waters, you all be seated.
All right.
Miss Simpson.
Usually you don't have these so many issues from it.
I think where we left off. Well, let me. kind of try to refocus myself. I'm going to show you what's entered at stage 7. Just, can you see those tents in stage?
Yeah, Patty, I see you. I see you.
Do you recognize those tents?
Yes, sir.
You recognize those pants?
It feels so smooth, though. All right, one more time like this. If it doesn't work, then I'll put the gel base. But like, I'm convinced I can get it because it's so
Have you
smooth.
cleaned them?
Yes, sir.
Where were these pants kept in state 7?
The left dresser.
Usually
And
this cosmic
the
top coat works awesome
third drawer.
for chroming.
Third or fourth drawer.
You know
They weren't in the ones where he had one drawer with shorts that he would usually wear on the weekends. You know,
I
the
can
dressier
see
ones.
everything you say,
Those were
Patty.
in the drawer underneath that specific drawer.
So you know what drawers these were in?
Yes.
If you know from being there and taking care of
Do you guys ever stay in your pajamas all day?
These shorts he right
I try to get dressed every day, and the live gives me like a reason to, but I stayed in my
And were
pajamas
these
today.
clean the last time you saw them?
Yes.
Now this shirt that's also in states 7. Had you seen that shirt before?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where was this shirt kept in the closet at Moselle?
The top shelf
Oh, I think it worked.
above where his clothes hang. The top shelf. There was a shelf up there.
And you've testified it looked like a shirt had fallen from that shelf when you got there on the morning of June 8th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was this shirt kept in that same place as the shirt that had fallen?
Yes, sir.
And the shirt that had fallen, what did you do with it after you picked it up?
I folded it back up and I.
There we go. Much better.
Was it clean?
Yes, sir.
Understand that you are having a personal conversation, but you need to speak into the mic.
Yes, sir.
All right, look at me this way. I'm sorry.
Okay. Have a little chrome on my
Had you cleaned this shirt?
skin,
It's in state 7.
but I can wash that off after.
Prior to June 7th of 2021.
Should I do a second layer of chrome?
And where would it have been placed after you cleaned it?
Ooh, I can see a
Where
little.
would you have put it?
Up in the closet if there was no more room in the drawer.
That's better. What do you think, guys? Or just loungewear in general. Hey, remember that Yiddy onesie with the heart pockets in the back that I got, Britt, and you love so much? It's $19 right now. They do charge you a $59 subscription fee, but if you cancel within 30 days, they don't charge you anything, and you still get the product for $19. So I just wanted to let you know if anybody's interested in the Pet Me onesie from Yiddy. It's on sale for $19. Okay, let's put those away.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna top coat
Now,
my chrome
this,
nail again.
Who's in the picture?
Alex.
And can you tell what kind of pants he's got on?
Khaki pants.
Okay. Can you tell what kind of shoes he's got on from that, Miss Simpson?
It appears to be the pair of loafers. Mhm. House shoes, loafers.
Okay, well, tell me what you mean by house shoes.
Just his shoes that he would usually wear around the house if he was wearing shoes.
So would he usually just wear them inside?
Yes, sir.
But these appear to be those shoes.
It appears to be, yes.
And this shirt that Alex Murdaugh is wearing on June 7th, depicted in States 306, had you seen that shirt prior to June 7th?
It was in the closet.
And what type of shirt is that?
The Columbia shirt.
Columbia shirt.
Yes, sir.
And how many of those type shirts did he have?
He had a few in the closet.
And what color is that shirt?
Just like a
Too bad this
greenish
color's not a little
aqua
closer.
color.
Oh, that was a
Why do you
30
keep using
second.
the term
One more.
seafoam? I'm not fussing, I'm just asking.
The term seafoam, when Maggie was looking at different color palettes to paint, that color came up in one of the color palettes. So we would refer to it as a seafoam. But that's the term that was used for that color in one of the color palettes.
Trying to think if there's anything I can put on this chrome now. I know it doesn't need anything.
2021, did you ever see that shirt again?
No, sir. There was like a pink one, a white one.
All right, let's activate and top coat our other nails.
I do not remember that shirt being in there.
And on June 8th of 2021.
So we all know, but some people may not, that when you're doing your dip nails, right before you top coat, you want to put a layer of activator on any nails that are going to get dip top coat. So I'm going to let it sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to wipe it off before top coating.
No, sir.
I haven't commented on anything. Why? What else did you say? I saw the stuff about Jadis and stuff. Is that what you mean?
No, sir.
Where did he usually keep them?
In the closet.
Did he have any other type shoes? Canvas or any kind of boat shoes?
He had a lot of shoes in the closet.
Do you remember any shoes that were canvas type shoes?
The boat shoes, like the Sperry.
Sperry shoes?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember those?
I think I remember.
Yes, sir. They used to sit in the closet.
They used to. After June 7th of 2021, did you ever see the Sperry boat shoes?
No, sir. I do not recall seeing them in the closet.
Never ever.
No, sir.
Pumpkin faces. I don't know where they are. I bought, you know how I got the bigger photo album? This is the small one. I bought 2 more, so now I just got to organize all my stickers. But it should be enough to put them all in. Then that drawer won't be a hot mess anymore.
Did you stay on and work for a period of time for Alex Murdaugh at the Moselle?
Yes, sir, I did.
And did your day-to-day functions change after June 7th as
Don't
far
do
as
this.
Moselle itself?
Yes, sir. It did.
Well, tell them how that happened and what the change was.
After Maggie and Paul were killed, Alex did not stay on the property.
Yes, this is going to be a plain chrome now.
The 10th, when I believe his father passed away.
You can't see Mallory?
Yes. I believe after.
Oh, you are Brandis? A moon and a cat?
The cemetery. Alec called and asked if my husband and I would.
You asked if I was talking smack
on the
about who?
Because him and Buster were not going to be able to stay there.
I had nobody to talk. I was talking about
zebra
zebra glitter and nails.
Maintain it while he said until he decides what he's going to do with it.
So anyway, it's not definite yet, but I do believe I will be joining that team.
And what were you paid for that?
Yes.
Okay, let's top coat. So you see, I just wiped off any excess activator off of my nails. It's a super important step. So now we're going to go in with our first layer of top coat. Keep it to 2 or 3 strokes.
Is a lot of grass.
I like one down the middle and then one on either side. I got a little on my skin there.
Would you cut it?
Yes, sir. I would help my husband.
Were you also taking care of the dogs?
Yes, sir.
Tell these folks what were the dogs' names?
Grady and Bubba.
Grady and Bubba.
Yes, sir.
You fed them?
Yes, sir.
Hi.
took care
I'm
of
gonna
them?
go right back
Yes,
through. Now we can
Where
do
is
our
Bubba?
second layer of
What's the
top coat. This is when you can
Whatever
cap
the name
your
is, where's
free
Bubba?
edges.
He's with me.
So you have Bubba in your home.
Yes, sir, I do.
Did Bubba have his own pen?
Yes, he did.
And I don't know if
Okay,
you've
and
seen
the
it
thumb.
at some point, and I'll keep going to the video.
And the cool thing about dip top coat and dip in general is that it dries super fast. So if you're like me and can't really do nail polish because it messes up before it dries, then you can do dip. If I can do dip, you can do dip.
No, sir.
I didn't even know you were gone, Patty. If I'm going to talk smack, it's going to be about Kendra anyway, not you. You're just worried I'm going to tell everybody about your glow secret, huh? I told you I wouldn't, and I have not.
If I or anybody, if the chickens were running out
What do you guys
of the
think?
coop, he would chase the
I kind of
chickens.
wish like I had something to
He would just
stamp
go
on the
after
chrome
chickens
or
the guineas, whatever was out
something, but
And would you ever catch
I don't have
Yes,
anything the
would.
right shade of
how would
blue,
Bubba,
or
the
I
chicken,
wouldn't
get
know
out
what
of Bubba's
color to
mouth?
throw in there. So I think it's best just to leave
You
the
have to
chrome
make
nail
several attempts
alone.
to get the chicken out of his mouth, and at points he would growl at you. You tried to take his toy. Basically that's what he.
In your experience in being there, was it easier for a family member or somebody Bubba knew to get the chicken out?
Thanks, Brandis.
If he's
Do
stubborn.
you think that copper nail is okay?
Yes, sir.
But would it take a period of time to get the chicken out of Bubba's mouth?
Yes, it would.
Patty. So pretty much these nails are going to be dry in 2 minutes or less. So I'm just waiting on that. And then I'm going to put some cuticle oil on, which you should definitely do, especially at the end of a mani. If you're going to a salon and they're not putting cuticle oil on you, it's not a good salon.
Yes, I did.
And let's go back. Where did
No, Pat, I just asked where you were. I'm like, geez, where is she? I'm like, I was just talking to her.
After Paul and
That
Maggie
was
were
it.
killed, Alec was
Ask the
not
girls, they were
staying
here.
at Moselle. My husband and I were, and he would often.
I would
stay
never
in
talk shit
different
about you, Patty.
places.
Come on.
But all his clothes and
Well, just don't piss
toiletries
me
and
off.
everything were placed in
I'm
the
just
house.
kidding. I would never talk shit about any of you guys. I love all of you guys. You're my friends, you know.
Small 2-bedroom
And if I ever had an
right
issue,
there.
I
That's
would like
where
go
all
to you
his
guys about it. So,
at the time went.
but it's not like we really end up with issues, you know. Usually it's just misunderstanding.
Clothes and toiletries and made sure stuff was there.
I did.
But the main thing is we're friends no matter what. We can have disagreements.
If anybody.
He never
But
stayed there. He would just go and get his clothing.
nails brought us here,
whatever,
but
you know,
friendship
he
keeps us here.
would have a
Okay?
snack or something. He wasn't really eating.
I consider you guys my closest friends and Francesca.
About a shirt.
I know sometimes I'll go days without talking to some of you, but I do consider you guys my
Yes.
best friends. You're the ones I hang out with every day here, you know. And you guys are almost like therapists for me. I tell a lot, you know, about what goes on in my life. And I love that we can share stuff with each other. And, you know, nobody judges
I need
anybody.
to talk to you. And he said, "Come here, sit down." So I went in the living room.
All right, I think we're
I sat
dry.
down, and he was
Yes, we
pacing back
are.
and forth in the living room, and he said, "I got a bad feeling."
Me
He said, "I
so
got a bad
corny
feeling."
cuticle
He said,
oil from
"Something's
Dip
not
with
right."
me. I'm going to use this
And
through
then
Halloween.
he said,
It smells like candy corn.
He said, "Well, you know, there's a video. There was a video that was out. I hadn't seen a video, and He said, "You remember the shirt I was wearing, that Vinnie Vine shirt?"
Make
So
sure you're
that's
oiling
what he said
under
to
your
me.
nails too. I'll tell you, that's where I have some of my
In my
driest
mind, I was
skin
saying,
is
I don't
underneath my
remember
nails.
Vinnie Vine's
And
shirt.
when I do
It
one
was
hand, might as well
the
do the
polo
other.
shirt.
And I'm pretty
But I did
color
remember. He said,
coordinated
"Well,
today
I
since
was
I
wearing
got
that
dips
shirt
from
in
the same collection on both hands.
in the that day." And still, I was just, I didn't say anything, but I was kind of
There we
thrown
go.
back because I don't remember that. I don't remember him wearing that shirt that day when he left.
Why
I know
are you
what
doing
shirt he
that,
was wearing, but
Brandis?
just the color, and the color is a different material.
All right.
I don't know.
I gotta
Vinnie
think.
Vine
I don't
shirt
know.
is.
I think I'm gonna do a denim
But when he
sleeve.
left that day, was he wearing a Vinnie Vine shirt? Or was he wearing the collar?
I got this one, but
Polo shirt.
it's not quite the match.
Just using your common sense.
I think
it appeared to
denim
you he
will
was
work
trying
best.
to say, I was wearing the shirt.
That's sustained. That's a form question.
How did you take that conversation?
I felt like I felt confused at first, and then I know what he was wearing the day he left the house, and I was
Dropping stuff.
basically confused. I didn't really know whether he was trying to get me to say that shirt.
All right, so we'll use that sleeve.
Asked, and that was the shirt he was wearing the day.
It's not.
I don't have a copper ring. Do I go black? Here's the ring you sent me, Brandis. I have this giant heart ring. I'm going to use my Pura Vida ring, if I can find it. Give me one sec. Here it is.
455, 457 for ID only. Do you recognize these, and do they relate to your testimony without saying what they are?
Yes.
On September 4th of 2021, did you have a conversation with defendant Alex?
All right, here is the
And
finished
what did he ask you to do?
He
Manny.
asked me to.
Oh, you're
send him
dipping? I thought you were
send him
doing
a
some
photo
painting,
of the
Brandis.
insurance cards.
Do you know what day of the week that was?
All right, so here is my finished Manny using Gilded Sky from the new Dipnotic Nails Western Wanderlust collection, along with a copper chrome powder from Born Pretty. It was a set I got off of Amazon. If anybody wants the link, I'll send it to you. I bought it for Kendra too.
That early that morning when he called me.
I'm a sucker. Thank you, Britt. Thanks for being here today, ladies. I do appreciate you all coming and hanging out with me. We'll be back tomorrow. Probably do a Luxie Halloween Manny. That's what I'm thinking. So enjoy your afternoon / mornings wherever you may be. And I will be talking to you guys. Have a great day.
I asked him if he was okay, and he said, well, I'm just getting some routine exams done. He said, and I need the number so I could go ahead and schedule these appointments. And